He had it going on.
All
Welcome
right.
everybody to Catfish Weekly, along with Patriot James Smith. I'm Lyle Stokes, and James. We've got a bunch of stuff to go over tonight, but before we get started, I want to congratulate Mr. James Dockery, the new slab master. He put a beat down on some people over the weekend that most people would not believe could have happened. And I'm sure that there'll be a lots of talk about that throughout the week. But
Oh
congratulations
yeah.
to him. And it almost come to play the second day where Josh nearly did the same thing. Josh Dunnigan, the weekend ditch pickler, had a heck of a day Sunday morning also. So them guys really got it going on. But it was one of the most fun and entertaining tournaments that I had seen in a long time. Uh,
That's pretty cool. How many did Josh end up with?
Over 100 fish, but most of his was one pointers, where a lot of James, most all of James's was two. Uh,
Right.
I think James did catch one or two, maybe bass, which was three pointers. But oh man, it was. I told everybody last week. I said, "Man, the guy's gonna have to watch." So Docker, he's liable to come in there and put a whooping on some people, and people don't expect it. And they thought that he was killing them on the trout, and they was making fun of him for fishing that conservation pond. He went over and started catching crappie off of a dock, and he caught a lot more crappie than he did trout.
Daggum right.
I keep hitting this mic. I got it so close. I got one announcement to make. We'll do that right quick. From
Okay.
Dan at Machine Outdoors sent me a message about in 2021 December month long boat event on catfishing chaos. Now, I'm pretty sure this is limited to kayaks, but I printed up the stuff and it's got the rules and things where you can't fish pay lakes, of course. And this series is dedicated to boat anglers when you register, but it doesn't say that it says the KCT rules apply less those specifically designed for kayaks. That all fish must be kept in public waters. The entry fee is $100, 80 to the pot and 20 to big fish. This event will be combination of your five biggest fish of the month. Man, that sounds like a really fun tournament.
Yep.
So go over there and check that out. And if you have any um, questions, contact Dan, and he will hook you up with the information. And I'm sure a lot of the others, maybe Ryan Bork and some of them other guys are familiar with this, but sounds like a lot of fun. And if it's just limited to kayaks, that'd be great. But if they open it up to boats with motors and stuff, like me, I'm not getting one of them kayaks, but
No, me
if you
either.
open one of them up to that, uh, man, that could be nationwide thing. So sounds like a lot of fun. Open everybody has a great time.
These online tournaments, Lyle, has really changed things up. It
I
really
think
has. Uh, you know, there's only a few things that I know of that's good has come out of this COVID jump, and that the tournament thing has come out good. And you know what, Lyle? A lot more families was sitting at the kitchen table eating supper together.
that's exactly right, and I think that's a wonderful thing.
Yes, sir. We don't do enough of it. So
Something else. You go back to that. When was the last time you sit down at somebody's house and played cards with them, a game of cards?
my parents done that for years, Lyle. They loved the game of canasta.
Yeah, yeah,
Now I can't remember how to play it, but I would love to get back into it. They'd have like 4 or 5 decks of cards and
yep.
house full of people and sit around and play for hours.
Just have a tournament. You lose, you go to the next table. If you won, you didn't have to move.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember those days, but you
Yep.
don't hear about that anymore.
And hopefully stuff like that will start coming back just to, bring families back together.
I hope so.
Because in times of trouble, guys, we don't have nothing but family and friends.
That's exactly right.
Um,
What do you say we check out some of the people in chat, James?
Sound like a winner to me. I see old Freddie's in the house. I got old Freddie's hat on tonight.
Old
Figured out
Freddie
how
was
to
killing
support.
it the other day himself. He had a heck of a good day.
Yeah, him and Nina's good people. I see Fins and Fine, Bill Wright's in the house. Gene Tillman, Clearwater Outdoors. It jumped on me. 3B Fishing, Ryan Bortz. Fins and Finds. I just said that. I'm sorry. Catfish and Crappie. There's Mr. Marks in the house. Parker Pursuit. Chris, you'll have to say that last name. Sorry about that, Chris.
Hustleton.
Fishing and Freedom. There you go. S&K Crappie. Philip Williams. Muskrat Adventures. Oh, Roger's been putting some pretty good sized fish in the boat, ain't he?
Yes, he has.
Clearview Outdoors. Go ahead, Lyle.
We got Ryan Bortz and two old vets, one of my favorite people. Fins and Finds, SK Crappie Catching Adventures, Jeremy Coven, Art with 1 Ton Catfishing Club. There's the Mrs. D, Pawpaw Ed, Mike's Fishing Home. Seen him fishing the other night, caught a really nice fish.
Yep.
Let's see who else we got here.
Green
PD,
Machine.
Doug Kale, PD. Nina's in here.
Reeling Raiders Outdoors.
Fishing and Freedom.
I love that name.
Me too, man. It's awesome. Muskrat Adventures.
There's Mr. PD's in the house. CPD fished in the tournament too, didn't he?
He did. He got into some bad weather and wind and stuff, but he started out with 2 bass right off the bat. He was, for a long time, he's the only one that caught a bass.
I hear you. No, that wind was bad out here, man. And I'm sure down at Santee, boy, it gets rough.
Yeah.
John
There's
Patrick
Pontoon
Jr.
Jody. Joe Buck 66.
There's Brian B's in the house with us.
James Kilpatrick. Isabella.
Surprised me ain't seeing old Maurice in here. Miss Cindy.
Lizabella Kirkpatrick Thomas. I was looking for it to make sure I got it right. Brian B.
There's Cormel Muncie. I think that's how you say that.
Yep.
Guys and gals, if I butcher your name, please don't hunt me down and kill me.
Here's a new one, Olan Howard. Welcome to the show.
There's a Hawaiian fisherman.
We are glad to have Lance in here. Northeast Kansas fisherman.
That might be one state I never get to visit is Hawaii.
Hawaii?
I like to.
Heck yeah.
I don't know about being in a plane for 12 hours, though.
Yeah. Fishing with the squirrel. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Avid.
I'm trying to scan up. I think there's Real Gals. Crappy Day Fish On. Is that a new one?
No, it's been in here before.
Okay. I'm sorry.
They're going about as fast as I'm moving my mouse.
Mike's Fishing Outdoors. Mike's Fishing Home. I'm sorry. There's Mr.
Big
Maurice.
Bill Veterans Catfishing.
Yeah, there's Mr. Maurice and David Funk.
Maurice was apt to be the first one in here tonight. Way up in the afternoon when I set this up. There's Ernie Brown.
Jay Fox Hunter.
V3 Customs. Fishing the Mid-South. I'm not sure if we said his name or not. He was in early.
Yeah. There's Mr. Ernie Brown.
David Martin.
Yeah.
Chrissy Brown. She was also in early.
Yeah.
Mike Irwin.
Yeah. She's been a little under the weather too, hadn't she?
Yes, she has. Yeah. I hope she is too. Trey Beck's Outdoor Adventures, welcome.
Yeah.
I seen Mo Creek was in here a while ago. I haven't seen his name up, but I know that he was in here earlier.
Yeah. I'm scanning back to the top. Carolina Catfish, Mike Irvin. I think you just said him. Real Gals. Trying to scan up to the top and see if we missed any. I don't think so up to the top. I think we got all them.
I'm going down the other way. There's Kevin with Palmetto Cats. Yeah. Welcome to the...
There's Creole in the house. He was in there earlier.
Jay Fox Hunter.
Yep. Catfish Weekly. All right, I made it to the top. And that's the first time it's ever allowed me to go all the way back to the top.
Really?
Yeah, most of the time it'll cut you off part of the way up.
Yeah, it usually does, yeah.
Want to be outdoors? There's Harley Dockery, Doug Kale, Mr. Avid Fisherman, Mr. James Dockery's in the house.
Dieter Melhorn has graced us with his presence.
Oh, he must be. I think he's still down on location right now.
Is he?
Mr. Melhorn, get a chance tomorrow. Give me a holler.
Yes, Dieter. At some point, I need you to give me a buzz too. I have a question for you, and only you can answer it. I'm quite sure.
Let's see. I've seen some V3
Greenwell Fishing. Hi, Mike.
V3 Custom. The Squirrel's in the house with us. Pontoon Jody's in here. It's a fishing woman right there too, ain't she?
Yes, sir. I see Harley Dockery is now accusing James of his son fishing a Pele. But we know that's not true.
Oh, we never hear the end of that.
Oh my. Harley's such a good boy. James and Katie should be proud of him.
Yeah.
I know they are.
Yeah. Treebecks Outdoors, Fishing Mid-South. I think we about called up there, Mr. Lyle.
I'm trying to get to the bottom. I said he just flew in from Phoenix this morning. He will call you ladies tomorrow. I know he's talking to you and me.
Yeah. 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 He's been, they've had him rolling here lately. Did you see that shark he caught?
No, I have not, I guess.
He put that last video up. Went out shark fishing, and the only shark he caught was on one of my floats.
Oh, really? That's cool.
A good sized shark too. It was one of the old floats. So
James Dockery says, "I have no son named Harley," but I also know that's not true.
Yeah,
Whiskers and Stripes.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of them in here tonight, James. It's going to be a lot of fun show.
Yeah.
I announced the tournament. You guys get a chance to check that out. Go check it out if you got a kayak. And if that happens to be open to boats other than kayaks, somebody please let the rest of the world know, because some reason I feel that would draw a lot of attention.
Yeah.
But it may or may not. We'll just have to see how that works out. But it's going to be a lot of fun for those that plan to fish it. So there you go.
Mr. Has is in the house tonight.
Good to see him in here. I had a visit with him the other day.
Mr. Chad. This is for boats and not kayaks.
Wow.
Huh.
Well, we'll see how that works out. That should be a fun deal.
It is for
boats and not kayaks. Well, I didn't see that in here, but I might have overlooked it. Like I say, I printed all the stuff out. So, well, that'll be a lot of fun.
Fishing with JBT. Yeah, no doubt. That changes the whole game for you, don't it?
It does. Yes, it does. So,
when's this supposed to take place?
It's the whole month of December.
The whole month of December.
Yeah, it starts sometime on the 1st and ends sometime on the 31st. Let's see. Challenge opens at 11:30, 11:01 p.m. So just right before the very first of December, and about an hour ahead of that, and then from that point on till the last part of December 31st.
Now, who's hosting this?
It is by Kayaks and Cats.
Okay.
And
look that up.
Yep. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I hadn't entered none this year or nothing like that, and I might have to try to get in on something like it. Get old Wampus Cat to get out there with me.
Josh, the weekend angler, says, "Send me help. I'm stuck in Ollie's discount and my family won't leave." That's all right. Just knock the dust off that wallet. You'll be just fine.
I've only been into Ollie's once or twice, and it's like walking into an inside flea market, what it looked like to me. But you get some good deals on stuff.
Hey, if you can get a deal's only a deal if it's a deal.
That's kind of the way I look at it. Sure enough.
Oh, man.
How many we got in here right now?
We got 67.
There you go. Well, you mind if I talk with him just a second?
I don't take all the time you want, James. It's all on you, big guy.
Guys and gals, please don't pay me no attention because I liable to get a little emotional. Tonight, I want to thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart for your prayers for Kyrie and my family through what we've gone through. Miss Kyrie is 4 years old. It is my daughter's half sister's boy, and the youngin went over to his father's house, and his father left a 9mm out on the table, and the youngin got a hold of it and shot himself above the right eye, and it come out on the right side of the brain, of the head. I don't want to go into a whole lot of details. He has survived, and he probably will never have the use of his left side of his body. It took out a lot of the brain on the right side, and but they actually took him off the vent 2 days ago. They decreasing his drugs right now. They never had to give him any kind of drugs to keep his blood pressure or his vitals up. He's breathing on his own. They took his catheters off today, and they're decreasing the medicine to kind of see what he's going to do, how he's going to react and stuff like that. And they're talking about moving him from they call it PICU, which is actually pediatric ICU, down to another floor. I hope it ain't too soon. You never know, but I don't think this is over at St. Jude's, not St. Jude's, but over in Charlotte at one of the children's hospital. I can't think of the name. But me and my family do want to thank you for all the prayers that y'all sent out, because if you're ever on the fence that there's a God in heaven, I promise you, people, they are. There's been a lot of prayers answered for this young man and his family. And I know the prayers will continually roll in. And the Catfish family has come together, as we always do, to support each other. That young man will know when the day he can understand what y'all have helped happen. And I want to continue to thank you. And if you don't mind, continue to throw in them prayers up our way, because we can use all we can get. Thank you, Lyle.
That's quite all right, James. This has been a struggle for you guys, and we've been saying prayers for you right along. And my gosh, they can nobody say they don't work. I'm not real tight with the big man, but I believe that it works. We have to believe that it works, and this is just another instance that proves it. So
yeah,
we're glad that everything is working out for the very best, and we'll keep you guys in our thoughts and prayers as much as so many others will.
Oh yeah, and it you're right, Lyle. It does, and really, if we all open up our heart and our eyes, we'll probably see miracles every day.
Every day.
So
thank you, Fishing and Freedom. We appreciate that. Thank you so much. I was born a Baptist minister's grandson, and I had it 3 days a week or more my entire childhood. And you forget about how the important things when you want to get away from something is bad, because that's all we had instilled in us.
Right.
And but when you see things like this that actually work, you think, man, why have I been gone from it? Because it's there, and it's there for the taking. All you have to do is ask.
Yeah, we walk away. He don't walk away.
He's always there. So
yeah.
So pretty cool deal, and very touching. And we wish you and that young man the very best. And it's a miracle, and that's all you can say about it.
It makes you feel kind of useless, because the doctors are having to do everything, and the only thing you can do is pray. But that's the most important thing. Hey, Robbie, and
that's right.
Thank y'all. Thank you.
That's cool.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I talk a little fishing. I appreciate that.
Let's do that. The bandfish tournament was what was over the weekend. It was going, but I know there were some people that was out catching catfish. I was not one of them. We were supposed to fish that panfish tournament. Cindy didn't feel good, so we stayed home, and that's okay. But I know there was some fish caught over the weekend. I seen some nice pictures of some great fish, and we got a lot of catfishing left this year. This,
Yes.
in my mind, is one of the better times, maybe not the best time, but one of the better times of the year to be catching big fish.
Yeah.
So
A lot less boat traffic too, ain't it?
there's a lot less boat traffic in my area. I promise you. Because these guys, a lot of them, they have them docks and raising boats up and stuff, and they're already on their way up. They've already got a lot of them raised up, and them people are done. They may go down to their weekend houses and sit there and have a few adult beverages and watch the boats go up and down the lake, but most of them are done boating for the year until spring, and that just opens it up for us guys that like to fish. It really does.
Yep. There's Mr. Fishing Fetish is in the house. What did he say? Lyle just whipped out cause James Dockery put on the egg.
He did. There's catfishing with the crow. James did. He put on a clinic, and everybody was kind of on him about catching them trout, and he just stopped and went over to the crappie pond. It's a lake. But he was up on the docks. Anybody could walk out on the dock, catch them crappie. He caught a lot more of them than he did the others. So thank you, Pontoon Jody. Appreciate that very much. Thanks a lot. But yeah, I mean, he got out there, and then his daughter come over, and she started catching the crap out of him too. And I think he made her quit.
He didn't want her to sore lip all of them, so he can still get.
Oh man, there was one of the things that we talk about James Dockery a lot, and we give him a bunch of grief about things that probably shouldn't. But there was a young man that was struggling to catch fish there on that dock. And while James was catching fish, he was instructing this gentleman on how he could catch them too.
Right.
And helped him catch him some fish while he was catching fish. So that just goes to show what kind of guy he is. There's LG Bass, George Ray, Crappy Day Fish on. But he's just a super nice guy. Build the Krampus. What is this?
They done got Freddie in on the roll now.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's James Dockery Fishing. Be sure to go over to check that out. Need to make sure that everybody subscribes to him because he's well deserved of that. I promise you.
Yeah. Share the love, share the bait, everybody.
Right. And these new channels that have come in here tonight, there's a few new ones that I haven't seen before. So if you guys want to check those out, it'd be awesome. Mike Fishing Home says, helping if you can do. And don't forget, Mark with Catfish and Crappie will be on tonight right after we get done.
Yeah, he's got who's he got on tonight? I forget.
I don't know.
Guys and gals, I apologize. The past couple of weeks, I haven't been on social media too much. I try to scan through and see what all y'all got going on, but my mind's been somewhere else. But we'll get caught back up. Things will get rolling again. Hopefully, I can get back in the water. You don't go like you used to go. You start missing it. I mean,
that's a fact. That is a fact. You do get to missing it. And I want to mention also, Cindy and I and my older sister will be heading to North Missouri tomorrow to see my brother. I know all the thoughts and prayers that has been instilled because his health has been down. He's been in the hospital for a couple of weeks, but he is doing very well. He's really, really weak, and they're starting him on physical therapy tomorrow, and he's not really wild about that. But I'm going to prod him along a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
we recommend it unless you need it.
That's exactly right. Well, he can't hardly walk, and his legs are so weak, so he's got to do that. So we're going to drive up and visit with him for a little bit and then probably drive back
David
tomorrow night.
Weiner is who's going to be on with Mark.
Who?
David Weiner, WYNER, said he'll answer all your channel cat questions tonight.
Good deal. I thought he had him on there the other day. There's Betty Jean.
Yep. Let's see, George Ray. Yeah, it's this time of year is always yes, spring can be some hot bites, but this time of year can really, if you can really finally start getting in that winter pattern, that colder water pattern, you can pick up some good fish. This time of year I've caught some of my better fish, truly.
I think that this time of the year too, the fish start to congregate a little bit. And for those of you that really like anchor fishing, this is probably the best time of the year for that.
Yeah. But
not saying you can't catch them
right
drifting or whatever. I'm just saying when they start congregating up, it's not as much a hit or miss thing. You can go in there, find a bunch of them, and throw the bait, set the anchor back, turn the heater on, and catch a few fish. It's not much work.
We actually got pretty warm today. The next couple of days supposed to be up to 75 degrees. So
it was 70 here today, but it starts cooling off tomorrow.
No, I hear you. So it'll be heading.
So you got that to look forward to. Texas Tiger, welcome.
Yeah. So it's but it's kind of a funny, to me, early winter, late fall, there's a weird kind of transitional that you can see the fish, but you can't get on a bite, or you can't find the fish.
One of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. So it drives you crazy trying to figure it out. And I was always wondering, this time of year, do they go about like a spring pattern and start going shallower, or are they getting ready to go deeper for the winter?
I have a theory about that, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I think that they follow the bait. And on them bright sunny days when them shad run up on the shallows to feed, they follow them up there. And on the dreary days when it's not sunshiny and the wind blowing into something, I think they stay a little bit deeper and tighter to structure.
Right. We got Big Bill's Veteran Catfishing on here. That's a new name for me.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in here. I hope you enjoyed the show. Shameless Fishing. That's a new one. Yeah. Thank you for
welcome,
coming
you guys.
Hope you enjoy it. Luther Harlow.
Seen him before.
Yeah.
Glad to have you back in, Luther.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of people, now is a good time to use them spot locks, ain't it, Lyle?
That's fact. That's one of my favorite things. When we was pre-fishing for the panfish tournament, Cindy and I used spot lock that whole day. And we was up on the banks, and I caught the first bass that I had caught in probably 15 years, jigging for them bluegill, and got one of them little things that I thought of Josh right off the bat. It was one of them dockery dinks. It's about like that. But it was a great fish, and that's where we was finding the bluegill and stuff. Now, where we was at is in a cove where there's a bunch of boat docks, and this particular dock, a lot of people fish for crappie off of them docks, and we didn't bother them.
Right.
We was, I don't know if we could have caught those or not. We was going to try them because they was worth a couple more points. But catfish wasn't on the agenda for that tournament, so there was no sense of me fishing them. Although we'd been having little issues with the boat, so I took it out the end of the cove and run it back and forth up and down there 3 times. There was catfish all over that drop off out there, just stacked on that thing. So they wasn't there 2 or 3 weeks ago when we was over there. Them catfish was not there. They moved in the last couple of weeks, but they was on that ledge now where they was getting ready, and I think they probably was getting ready to move up in that cove where all that bait was at.
Right.
Because the little shad was just hitting the top of the water, and God, it was little for this time of year, but they was just lousy in there. So I figure that's what the catfish was doing out there, getting ready to move in.
Yeah, and Dieter said spot on. Said Chase, follow the bait this time of
Yep.
year. I got a question. How many times do shad spawn? And
More
again,
than once.
that's what I've come to understand. I wasn't sure, but because you're right. This time of year you'll see it look like they're little bitty rascals.
I seen the last time we was out, we was catching them in the net, 3 and 4 inch shad.
All right.
We didn't get hardly any bigger than that, but just it was all you need to pick the net up. There were so many. And Friday, it was Friday when we was out. They wasn't this long. It was an inch and a half, 2 inch fish.
You couldn't hardly catch them in a net.
Well, no, they went right through, even a smaller.
Right
there was just thousands of them in that cove. And I know that's what the bluegill and bass was chasing because I was actually throwing my jig up on the boat ramp on the concrete part and jigging it back off that concrete because that's where the little shad was. They was up in there hitting the top of that water because the sun was shining on it.
Yep.
And I was catching them bluegill and the bass right there.
Right.
So, yeah, that's I think that has a lot to do with it. I think Dieter's right. I think that God, I hate to admit that, but they do. Them fish are following the shad up there, and the catfish and the predators are following them.
Yeah, there's Buck Williams said James Dockery's heart grew 3 sizes on Sunday. He was rooting on Freddie and Josh.
He was. He's a pretty cool old dude. He really is.
Oh yeah.
Now Josh did pretty good though, and I think what I have to say. Well, I think what happened to Josh is he had the James Dockery ponytail thing going, and I think that's what made his fishing jump to the level it did. Was wearing that ponytail.
There's 2 stands fishing's in the house. The weekend angler. Chat's moving, bull.
Yeah, it is. It's rolling right along.
Are there anything as far as fall fishing that you can think of as something that you've learned over the years that maybe has changed your way of going about fall fishing, Lyle?
I have to admit something that you do a lot of, and Cindy used to preach at me to fish shallow, and I didn't ever like fishing shallow. But when that sun's shining and them bait fish go up shallow, them catfish go behind them, and that's something that people neglect to do. And I was terrible about it. I had for years. I was set on 25 to 45 feet of water. That's where I wanted to fish because there was always fish there. But now I wonder if there was always catfish. Right. But they're going to follow the bait. Them fish are not going to go very long without eating. And I think if you would go up to where the bait's at and just either under them or back away from them in just a little bit deeper water, your success rate will increase a great deal. And always look for some kind of structure, whether it's a ledge or a drop off or trees or rocks or whatever. They'll always be in that.
There's 3+1s in the house with us and take down catfishing. Yeah, I found out usually when the water around January, February, when the coldest of the waters is around our area now, guys and gals, I'm in North Carolina. We love the bluebird days when it's cold. Them bluebird days, that sun is shining on that shallow water. And I noticed a lot of people think that the water itself is heating up. Yeah, it heats up a little bit, but we sat out there all day and it might change 1 degree. I don't know if 1 degree will make that much of a difference to draw fish. I think the UV, we sat and watched fins up out of the surface of the water. I think they up there letting that UV heat them up like an old turtle laying on a log.
Yeah.
Heating up their bodies where when they do eat, they can process it. It's hard to fill your belly up when you're cold. Get them. There's Mike Chavez in the house tonight.
Welcome, Mike.
But you can go back out there 2 days later and the fish won't even be there. And them shallow
exactly
water.
Right.
Now, guys, when I'm saying shallow water, we is anchoring up in 4 foot, throwing up in 2 foot. there's difference in different lakes or rivers. Where you talking about, you mainly fish your rivers, Lyle. I don't know how good the shallows would be. I've never fished a major river, so I don't know if the shallows actually work that good in a river. I don't know.
I think they do, and I think they take the shallows as around and behind wing dikes.
Hmm.
That's shallow water. There's deep water there too, but
Right.
I think that's why they go back behind them. There's Kelly Bullock in there,
Yeah, Mr. Bullock.
but yeah, and rocks. The rocks heat up when the sun
Yeah.
shines on them, and that attracts the bait fish. And then again, it's like I say, it's a vicious circle.
Well, and late in the evening after the sun's heated them rocks up all day long and the sun goes down, the lake starts dropping in temperature. But if you can find them coves that's got them big boulders and stuff around on them, that's probably going to be one of your warmer spots, or any places that's got a lot of concrete.
Yeah, concrete's a great holder of heat.
That is a great holder for shad too, ain't it?
Absolutely, structure. Local Life Outdoors. Another new one. Thank you for joining us.
Floats on the. I missed it. It doesn't jump. I missed
Yeah,
it.
they're moving pretty quick tonight.
Yeah. It's talk about huge drops in water temperature this time of year. Here on the James River, water temperature dropped over 10 degrees in less than a week.
That's a lot.
That's a pretty good change. Did y'all have a big influx of water stand? Because usually you get a lot of influx from water up ahead of you. It can bring the water temperature down too, like that.
That's a fact.
Local Life Outdoors, welcome. Watching from South Carolina, so he's just down the road from me.
Heck yeah. Welcome to the show. Glad to have you.
Got a good bit of South Carolina people that catfish and have channels and stuff like that.
Yep.
I hope Cindy feeling better now, Lyle?
She is feeling better, and I'm glad of it.
Yep. Wish I could skip him. Oh, Justin. So when does your flathead shut down where you're at, Lyle? Are they already shutting down?
I don't believe they've shut down yet. I don't think the water temperature is cold enough, but it's going to be pretty close. Usually, once it gets down around 45 degrees, below 50, sometime below 50, they start to slow down a great deal. And then below 45, they really slow down.
Right.
And then you get below 40, and it's pretty much over.
Yeah, they pretty much done piled up in their piles. There's Mr. Hagen Grubbs in the house.
Hagen Grubbs. I sent you a message here a while back. And I've been talking to a good friend of yours quite frequently here lately that has an idea you need to contact me about. Glad to see you in here. Had some good videos out recently, Hagen.
Yes. Yeah, everybody really has stepped up their videoing, their way the videos are put together. Kudos to each and every one of you for that. It's
well, the programs that we used to do to edit videos has become a lot easier and more user friendly.
Yeah.
But the people have learned how to do things a lot more than they did 10 or 12 years ago. People are capable of doing editing and things way better than they could in those days. And some of that's the programming. Some of it is they're trying harder. They want to do better and produce better content. So there's a lot of things that's working on that. So, but it makes for us that watch these shows, James, and I watch a lot of them, it makes the entertainment factor go way up.
Exactly, and that's what I was getting ready to say. That entertainment factor being stepped up like that can take a bad day of fishing and turn it into a decent video.
That's exactly right. And there's a lot of new folks doing it now.
Right. Oh yeah, it's amazing me. It seems like I'm seeing a new channel pop up daily or every other day or something. And
That's right, Rob. With two old vets, says Lyle, talking about us old codgers that electronics give a fit to.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah, a lot of them, Lyle, don't never got to fight with Google Hangouts like we did.
Oh, dude. And I used to spend hours a week trying to help people with that. And it was hard for me to learn, but I retained it and could help other people with it when they was trying to start it. But that's all we had in those days.
Yeah,
This StreamYard compared to Google Hangouts, well, it's nothing.
no.
If anybody that never used it, they had no clue.
Man, I sent so many tries, like you said, trying to get people. If you didn't have the best of whatever was running on your computer or your phone, you just about hang it up.
That's exactly right.
Golly.
I see we got Captain Greg Olala has joined us in here. Glad to see you, Greg.
Yep. Now, Lyle, out there on some of the waters and stuff that you're fishing, are they mini striper in them waters too?
I'm sure there is. I don't target them, so I don't really know. I know that below us on Table Rock Lake and those lakes down below Branson and stuff, they got a lot of stripers in them.
I hear you.
Lots of stripers, and I'm sure they're up here at Lake Ozark and stuff. I don't target them, so I don't know how many there is. A lot of wipers up on Lake Ozark.
Oh yeah, them's some fun fish too.
Yep, there's Air Run.
Yeah, so Big Mite is fixing to start using your floats, Patriot. He's going to use one tonight, but no bobber stops. I wonder how he's going to use it unless he got some that's got the clips on them, painterboard clips I put on them.
Don't know.
I don't know. Good
Who
luck.
said was going to use them?
Say what?
Who'd you say was going to use them?
Big Mike? Big Mike, yeah.
Okay.
Mine and Big Nasty's videos are just not fit for most. Once we edit out the bad words.
Man, their live stuff is good enough for me.
Oh, them two characters, man. I think the world of both of them. They're family to me, buddy. And it's
they're great guys, and they're hilarious. Especially if they get one of them fish in a boat that's taking a dump on them, man.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
Lyle, I thought I was going to piss myself when they done
my
that.
sides hurt for days after I watched that.
Yeah, Big Dusty.
It was very, very entertaining.
Lyle, we've met some good people through social media and through the catfish world that any other way we would have probably never even knew those people existed.
That's a fact.
And you get close to them, and they become part of your circle of friends and stuff. And I fished with people like that. By the time I edited it, I had a picture slideshow.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah, well, Woman's Cat's got a buddy that they go fish up there on Baden a lot, and then he's one of them just said, I don't even bring the camera. He said, ain't you see bringing the camera? That old guy, he still got an old flip phone, and he don't ever carry it with him. He don't care if anybody call him or not. He wants to go fishing. He goes fishing, leaves everything on except the depth finder.
Wow.
Yeah, he's one of them people, though, that you like to pick his brain.
That's right.
He like to pick his brain because that's what he's thinking about is catfishing and catfishing and catfishing.
Yep, that's exactly right. Makes for great shows.
So we getting into it won't be long, and those water temperatures are going to be dropping on down. Now, do your waters out there? Is it basically the fish move in to find their deeper wintering holes? The blues. I mean, we already know what the flatheads pretty much do, but
on the rivers they do, James. But on these lakes, I'm far enough south on these lakes, you can catch blues year round.
Right.
They don't, but they do stack up.
Right. Yeah, I was wondering because I hear a lot of people talking about finding those deep wintering holes.
Yeah.
And of course, there's some people out there like old Mr. Larry Moose. He's going to throw in a deep hole any time of year. It don't
It
matter.
don't matter to Larry. It don't, and he's going to use skipjack.
Yep. So don't get that tunnel vision, guys and gals.
That's right.
Don't get tunnel vision. Now, when it works good, it works good.
Yep.
But the other times, if it ain't working, I ain't scared to pull anchor or change position or change techniques or bait if I have to.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
Now, when do you stop bumping?
Probably right about now.
About right now.
About now. Yeah, the water temperature is getting down to low 50s, high 40s, low 50s, and that's about when I usually do stop. But I'm not saying you couldn't catch them.
Right.
Still doing it because I'm sure Mike Greenwell, some of them guys are, but they've probably got a little bit warmer temperature than what we have up here. But yeah, about right now, you're pretty good through about the first November. And if water gets real cold early, then you wouldn't be. But
right.
I know guys that try it year round with some success, but it's not nearly as good as what it is in the spring and summer.
Right. Yeah. I'm hoping that by next year, when we start getting some of the heavier rains on Wiley and stuff around this area, that me and Justin, that's what we want to do is take off and take a trip and go up to the dam and try that bumping on the lake. Now, after about the second or third day, you might as well hang it up because them old lazy lake fish, they going to find them a hole to go hide in, get away from that current.
Right.
The first day or two, I want to try it. Now, whether it'll work or not on the lake is yet for me to see, but I want to get the feel of what y'all get to do out there on the big waters, on the big rivers, and just see. I mean, it might be something that we can do during that time.
A lot of people on lakes like that do that right underneath the dams when they're running water through, and they have success doing it. Yeah.
Right. Well,
don't forget, everybody, we're going to be winding her up here pretty soon, and Mark with Catfish and Crappie will have a good show following us. So you got to make sure that you tune in for that.
Well, you let me know, Lyle, when we want to discuss the other.
Whenever you're ready, sir. Hagen says, once James feels that bump and bite, he will be hooked like the rest of us. And you're right, Hagen. There's nothing like the feel of a fish trying to take your rod away from you and you trying to tell him he can't have it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why I'm starting to see some guys put those tethers on their rods.
Yeah.
Because I could actually see, especially in them days you get into a rhythm and it might be a little bit in between bites and you sitting there getting into that rhythm and, you just
get lax.
And then bam.
Yep. I seen it happen to Doc Lang one time, a brand new rod I just built. We was a test rod. We didn't know anything about it, and it snatched it right off of his hand. I've told about it 2 or 3 times, and that baby bounced off the back of that deck, and he caught it by the knob as it was going in the lake. And that was all he got it. And he looked over at me, and he says, I guess you ain't never getting this one back. I said, yeah, I know.
Good thing you had good glue on that knob, or it would have been gone.
I'm telling you right now, it was funny watching him go after that, but I was glad that he got it, and it was Doc, so
Yep. Well, it was one of them days. Even if he would have lost it, you couldn't have been mad because he fought everything you had to get a hold of it. So
that's right. It was tough enough to jerk it out of his hands.
Right.
So it was a good fish, but we lost a fish. That's what really made him mad, I think.
Oh, did he?
Solo Texan Adventures. Welcome, Carolina Catfish. Still got a few new ones coming in. We're glad to have all of you guys in the show with us tonight. It is really wonderful.
Yeah. Weekend Angler says, now I know how the fish feel. I keep telling Doctor, I want that Krampus cane. He keeps telling me I can't have it.
Oh man, you guys
Oh,
and their Krampus games.
what would you consider? What is the difference? Let me phrase this right. What is the difference? What you consider a bumping rod to a regular rod that we use for regular fishing?
They have to be a lot stiffer and they have to be super sensitive. And it's not that you can't bump with any rod because you can, but a regular catfish rod, most of them weigh around a pound, and then you put a
Right,
reel on it and they just wear you out. Where a bumping
right.
rod weighs 7, 8 ounces, and then you put a reel on it and you can sit there and you can bounce that thing. And the sensitivity on a really good rod, I'm talking about a good one, not some of these
Yeah, I know.
wannabes,
Yeah,
but a good one. You can feel a 2 ounce weight at 100 feet behind the boat. Just and you can tell whether it's in sand or rock,
right.
pebbles, mud. You can tell what it's on. If it hits a tree or a limb, anything it hits after you've done it for just a short period of time, you can tell exactly what it is. But it takes a quality blank to be able to do that. They have to be that sensitive.
Do they have a little bit of a limber tip on them, or do you want
No,
it stiff all the way
you
through?
want a stiff, yeah.
Okay. Uh,
And
yeah,
braid line,
right. Yeah,
braid
because
line,
braided line, you
everything.
get a lot better feel.
Yep.
Just don't lay your finger underneath that line and be a line filler like I did when it first come out. It cut your freaking finger.
Oh yeah,
Uh, and that's why I've explained to a lot of people that's just first getting into catfishing is to do a little bass fishing, but worm fishing with a
right.
bullet weight, a hook, and a worm, because you learn to feel what that bottom feels like, making them contacts on rocks, or you can even tell if you're in shale, and mud and muck and
Yep.
limbs, and you
Same
when you
thing.
learn to feel that, a lot of times it will teach you how to get a hang up unhung.
That's right.
If you don't put too much on it when it first gets hung, a lot of times you can pop it loose. But now, once you done set the hook in a piece of wood, you might as well hang it up.
Yep,
Uh,
I agree.
but yeah, I do. That's some things that I want to try. That I know it has to be fun. I mean, even days that I bass fish, a lot of that bumping pertains to some of the ways that I work baits back to the boat. Not letting the boat work the bait for me, down through there, but me working the bait. So I can see how that would be addictive. I really could.
Right. Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Uh, Plus, you get to cover a pretty good bit of water doing that. Now you control your boat speed with your trolling motor, right?
That is correct.
So you want your bait to be as natural coming down that water as possible, right?
That is correct again.
Okay. Uh, I was just wondering. We got about 5 minutes left. Well, guys and gals, before we get out of here tonight, me and Lyles talked about it for a couple weeks. I've got a ton of stuff going on in my life, and yet most of y'all know. I'll discuss some of it with you tonight. And I've got a lot of other stuff going on that's family related. As much as I hate to say it, because Lyle and Cindy has made me at home. They're family, and I've been part of this family for a while, but part of a co-host for this show for going on a year now, Lyle. Getting
Yep.
close. And I'm going to have to take a break, guys and gals. I'll still keep my show up, but I feel that I haven't helped Lyle like I should have with this show in a while. I've been so covered up. And I think that for Lyle and Cindy, for what y'all done put into this show, I don't want to see it ever go anywhere but up and do good. So I feel that it's best that I step away right now, guys and gals. And Lyle's going to fill these shoes. My shoes ain't real big right now because I haven't been able to help. but it's been an honor, Lyle. It has been a true honor. And hopefully one day when I get things straightened out and things caught back up, we can still do a show here and there. He's still going to call on me. We'll drop in. Of course, he will come in on my shows. A lot of times I like me and Lyle, we'll just sit down like sitting around a campfire and shooting the breeze and just having fun. That's what we do.
That's right.
But please don't be upset with me, guys and gals. I got to take care of family first. And
that's exactly right. And James, you always have a spot here, and it's been a lot of fun. We've had some great times.
Oh God, yeah, it's been a blessing. It's been an honor and a blessing because hey, you're the biggest show out there for catfishing, and I hope it stays that way, continues to grow. We anything I can do to help support. If you need me to come in one night, or if you need me to take over the show one night, if you and Cindy want to go on vacation, we'll make it happen.
Absolutely. We've always kind of had that agreement for quite some time anyhow. So
right.
You just never know when something's going to go on. And I have enjoyed every show that we've done together and wish you the best. And like I say, anytime you want to jump on here, you just let me know and we'll always have a spot for you.
Thank you. And thank Miss Cindy. And thank all y'all. Y'all been a big supporter of mine since I come on here. And Lyle has just about day one. And I couldn't have done it without y'all. Because y'all are the ones that give us a reason to come on here every Monday night or Wednesday night or Sunday, all the way 7 days a week now, Lyle.
That's right. It's somebody's live every night, and it makes for some great entertainment. And you're like Doc. Nobody can take your place, but we're going to have guest co-hosts for a while to cool. Try some people out because I got to find somebody that I can work with. I worked really well with Chuck Davidson. I worked really well with Doc Lang, and I worked really well with James Smith. At least I think I did.
Oh,
and the next guy may be a little harder to find. I thought JR and I had a great thing going. JR was a great co-host on our show.
He was.
But sometimes things just have to be. And right now you've got your hands full, and we're gonna have some guest co-hosts and try people out and see if they like it, if we like it. The thing that most people don't understand, this is a commitment.
Yeah.
Every Monday night we don't make much money off Catfish Weekly. There's just not money to be made there, and that's the way it is. And I'm not saying I couldn't have done things different if we'd have known in the beginning to make money, but we didn't know.
Right.
We didn't have no idea what we was doing. Some days I wonder if we still do, but we're gonna keep doing that, and we're gonna have a good time. And I'm going to do it until I'm done with doing it, and then we'll find somebody that wants to do it and keep it going. And that's the way it is.
Yeah, and that's it. There's some good younger people that's out there that's got a little bit more knowledge on technology and stuff, Lyle, that can help take it to the next level, maybe. And hopefully we'll help find that. I'll keep looking. Like I said, though, if you ever need me to step in, or you want a guest coming in or whatever, then, all you got to do is give me a holler and I'll be there.
And we'll always support your tournament that you have, James. We will. And we'll get you back on for that, but for sure.
Yeah.
To talk about that when it gets a little bit closer. But don't forget, everybody, James and his family can sure use your prayers and thoughts. So don't give up on that. He'll be on Wednesday nights, and we'll always be in there to support him and share his show out to our Catfish Weekly base to help him all we can. And with that being said, James, thank you for everything you've done. We're going to end it right here. Be sure to tune in and watch Mark with Catfish and Crappie. He comes on right now.
God bless y'all. Thank you.